Hi everyone, we have Ayonika here today, and
And this is Praveen.
hi. So I guess a lot of people know Ayonika from this huge stuff called. She has been doing a lot of things. You are a part of different communities, right? So I
Yeah.
guess I'll just allow you to like go on, talk about yourself.
Okay. So I'm just a simple person like everyone who's watching in here, right? The only thing that I'm keen is to participate and to know how things work out, be it business, be it marketing, be it coding, be it anything. I just love to put my legs in and do some hands in and, uh, you know, just explore
Practical
my
stuff.
life. Yeah, practical stuff because that's what I've learned from my childhood days that it's very important to just not be a theory guy or a girl but to do the practical stuff as well. And so today I'm here to learn things from Praveen and ask many doubts as possible from your side so that you guys can learn more because obviously the kind of content that Praveen is publishing on YouTube is very rare. And I hope that most of you can cherish this opportunity to learn more from him. So, yeah, thank you, Praveen, for having me in here.
That's cool. So let's go on. So today we will be looking into a couple of things, and I'm going to show you what all things that we are going to look into, and it is all about like getting what do you call this? There are like loads of things that we can do by getting things from uh, an external source. So since Ionica, you are a data scientist, right?
Yeah, I
So
am.
as a data scientist, you will be more interested in working with maybe Python, machine
Yes,
learning, those kind of
yes,
things.
yes, yes.
Right. I'm allergic to that because had I known Python before, I would have landed in Google. But okay, it's all right. Happens.
Yeah,
Now what I'm gonna do is like, okay, so I have Ionica with me right now, so I don't need to worry about getting into Google or anything. So but what Ionica does is like she's going to do a lot of this Python and Flask and Django and all these crazy things which I have
so
no clue.
So I guess we do not only work with Python and only Jupyter and Spider, these kind of work environments, but
Okay.
we work a lot with Hive, Spark, HANA, a lot of
HANA
databases.
also. Okay,
Yeah,
HANA is something related to SAP, right?
no, yeah, SAP HANA, right. So a lot of databases going on in and there, a lot of data to be pushed into. So yeah, it's sometimes a headache, but but when you start to enjoy it, it's actually good because that's how you become good at it. And I wanted to become a scientist in my childhood, but I did not know I'll end up becoming a data scientist when I grow up.
Still there is scientist now, then what?
That's a
Be happy.
scientist. Yeah.
So that's actually good. So that's cool. And yeah, so we will be looking into, so since we have a backend enthusiast here, I
Yeah.
wanted to keep it kind of like something that helps her as well. So everyone knows that I am a React specialist. React is being like getting the hype all over the world, and this is true. I need to also apologize everyone who is watching here live. This is actually pre-recorded. You can see the time is like it's my lunchtime here because I have work. Ionica has a meeting at 9:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 today. So I didn't want to disturb her. And moreover, the I believe like, hey, what did we discuss? Students like to see the recorded video more than the live
Yeah.
video, right?
Yeah. Being a student, I also preferred to watch recordings more than the live videos because I was not available at the time that the live videos were going on. So that's the only problem. Yeah.
So what happens now is I chose Ionica because she is like completely a beginner in the front end, and I do appreciate that she has got some kind of like, I want to learn front end and stuff like that, and that will actually be like your representation. So definitely she's going to ask a lot of questions to me.
Yeah.
Please do that, okay?
Yeah. I will.
And and I'll try to explain as much as possible, and I'll be available on the chat, live chat right now. So please go ahead and put in your comments, okay? So without further delaying, so far what have we recapped? Yesterday was like the craziest session with the Joker guy, Shivam the Joker, and we learned about a lot of ways we can get AJAX calls done and stuff like that. So today
Yeah.
we are going to do the same thing, but in a simpler way. How we are going to get the data from a backend like Ayonika. So Ayonika will be like creating a backend program in Python or like Spider or Jupyter, whatever it is. Like I don't know much about Python's environment, the world, or this Conda or Anaconda or any crazy arachnid for that matter.
It's
And
all about animals in Python. Python is an animal. Anaconda is an animal. All about animals.
no, I guess Anaconda is a part in Python, right?
No, Anaconda is an environment basically.
Environment, yeah. So do you have vipers as well?
No, we don't.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Please confirm whether you are able to see the screen.
Yeah, okay.
I believe so. Yeah, it is working.
Yeah.
Right. So here, what we are going to do now is, so this is what you see as a, okay, again, I'm a lazy person. Please forgive me. We have Code Sandbox again, and we have this React starter kit. Ayonika, I just need to give you a quick introduction about this thing. This is Code Sandbox. Similar to your online IDEs, we use Visual Studio Code for working with React.js. It runs really good. For the first time, Microsoft has done something nice. I'll also say this to Microsoft as a compliment. Don't take it seriously, guys. Okay. And this is kind of like a VS Code environment online. You don't need to have anything with you here right now. The only thing that you will be using is this is a VS Code environment which has been ported. Actually, VS Code is built in HTML and CSS only. So even if I use like VS Code from here, Visual Studio Code, this is going to be a HTML CSS thing that was bundled as an application and it's been sent here. This particular thing is completely online. It uses codesandbox.io and it runs React and all the other things that we require. So that's the reason I'm using this one. Okay, cool. Now with respect to React is like a single page application and it is being mainly used for, like solving this one big problem. So in programming languages, what you do is you don't repeat yourself, right? DRY principle. You use functions, you use something like that. But what do you do for designs like this? It's like HTML is completely into designing, right?
Yeah.
So designing a lot of things and stuff like that. So when you're designing things, it is very hard to, how do I say this? You cannot like componentize each things. And moreover, when it comes to HTML and CSS, HTML doesn't have this ability to like use partials or functions or anything of that sort. There comes React. React is like a component based development environment and you can like do all these things as reusable components, pass on some parameters. You can, if you see the previous videos, I have talked a lot about the componentization and other things that you will be having a good idea about it.
So that's, let's say that I'm an HTML and CSS developer. So how difficult is it for me to transition from HTML, CSS to React? So
it's about how you will be transitioning from a JavaScript point of view to React. That is what it is. So React is a JavaScript library. So you are going to use React along with HTML and CSS. The only small differences that you would see is, there are a couple of things that you are supposed to understand. So for example, this class name is supposed to be class supposed to be class name and HTML for when you use label tags, you use the for attribute, but for attribute is actually like, it's going to clash with JavaScript or any scripting language. For what do you use for?
Okay, I get it.
What do you use for?
Okay, again, for. So I have for loop in my mind right now.
Exactly, that's it. So since that is going to like conflict with it and class is a keyword, so we will be using class name instead of class and HTML for instead of for. That's all the differences. And you will be mixing HTML and JavaScript together. So this is JavaScript and this is HTML. So this is called JSX. That is the only difficulty. Maybe you can find this one is completely crazy. That is the only thing that you can think of. Otherwise, I guess it is absolutely a nice thing to go for.
Okay, nice. Okay, why should I not just keep on using the JavaScript that I know, and why should I move to React?
Because the development wise, this is easier. So for example, if I'm working with one particular component, another component can be done by another person, or another component can be completely given to another team. They will concentrate on this. So I really wanted to show you something called as micro frontends. So if you see this one, this is really like a crazy concept, but this is what people are actually doing. For example, I had this particular image in my mind. It's a picture of a car. It's a car application or something like that. Just wanted to show this to you so that it is clearly understandable for you. Okay, if you see this one.
Yeah.
No, not this one. Micro front end maybe. So that was an amazing, like an amazing.
What was it? Architecture or what was it?
Architecture, yeah, micro front end architecture. So let me show that example. That actually gives you an example. It's an example. So it is like this, something like this. I'll show you what the exact thing. Just give me 1 second. I might get this image from other place.
Praveen is very good at getting things from anywhere, anyhow. I mean, you can just tell him, "Give me this," and he'll be like, "Okay, fine. Sometime I'll get it."
Got it. Yeah, that's there. But okay, I've got that. I'll just send it over, like share it right away.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time. Okay, cool. So this is the one which I was trying to show. So let's say this is the complete thing that you are looking at. Okay, it looks like Amazon.
Yeah.
You are trying to buy this tractor. So there are like 3 different tractor models. You can either buy for 66 euros. What? Okay, it's a model. Okay, 66 euros, and you have the basket 0 items. Then you have some related products. Okay. So it's like inspiration for buying new things. So this is the whole product store. Okay, this is the product. Okay, this tractor, that is the complete product. This product is completely built in Angular. Okay. There is this team checkout team. They are controlling this basket and then this buy button. These 2 things are related to the checkout team. And then finally, based on what you are buying, these are the related products which is created using Vue by the Inspire team. So this whole thing is made into Angular. This blue part is done using React, and this green part, right? Or like I'm not good with colors.
It's green. Yeah.
Yes, this green part is done by Vue.js. So look at this. This is called micro frontends, and when 3 different languages are used to create something like this, then definitely a single product can be like broken down into pieces. For example, in simple terms, if you go to, let's say, Instagram, say I'll go to some other any person's thing. For example, let's think about some celebrity. Instagram. Who's the best celebrity you know?
Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
Okay, so this is her Instagram. I hope I'm able to open it here. Yes, cool. So if you see this part is going to be the user data. This part is going to be the post data, and there are like IGTV, etc. tagged thing. There are so many tabs here. These things, everything is made out of React. So this is using React, and you can actually like split all these things into different pages, and these components can be given to other people, like completely a team that is completely focusing on these posts. For example, if I open this post, so this is actually a single page application. Since I'm not logged in, it is not allowing me to like click on anything. But look at this one. This part can be given to a whole new team who is mainly concentrating on the comments and other things. So this also include your team as well, because more posts or like related posts might be requiring some kind of like an artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithm to see, okay, when this person is viewing this photo, the next photo is viewed like, okay, the person is liking to view this photo or something like that. So the suggestions will come up as a machine learning thing that might be using Python in the background or something
I
like
have a
that.
question. Why will not I use Angular instead of React?
Okay, that's a huge big question. I'll answer it in a simple way.
Yeah.
Angular is a framework, React is a library. So if I use React, I can add it to anything. For example, you just saw the example a couple of minutes ago. I was using like big Angular product. Inside that, we had got a small React application.
Yeah.
And next to it, there is a Vue application. So inside Angular, you can use React or Vue. Inside Angular, so not inside Angular, inside anything you can use React. But in case of Angular, you have to use Angular. You have to use Angular HTTP. You have to use Angular's directive, scope, etc. So a lot of things are tied to you. You have to do it this way or a specific way.
So it cannot be the other way around. Like inside React, Angular cannot be there.
No, inside anything, Angular cannot be there. Angular needs its own space. It's like it's like it is the whole monster or something like that.
Yeah, I'm the boss. Yeah.
Exactly. But that actually is a good thing as well as a bad thing. For example, a lot of people on the server side, like 10 years ago, they were all preferring IBM's huge missions, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
You tell me.
IBM had got everything on its own. Like, for example, if you are taking a Windows mission, okay, the CPU is by Intel. The disk drives are from Seagate. The CD-ROM drives are from, let's say, there are hundreds of companies for that. LG, Samsung, etc. The monitor is from Samsung, obviously, or Dell. Mouse is from Logitech. Keyboard is from Tektronix, maybe, something like that. And speakers are from Creative SBS and stuff like that. So when it comes to IBM ZOS, starting from the hardware till the software, each and every single thing is created by IBM and for IBM. So you can't kind of like penetrate or hack into their systems. It is almost similar like Mac, I can say. But even Mac uses Intel processor. It was using Intel processor, but now it has changed to this, what do you call this? It has changed to something else. But thinking about these things, you can clearly see that IBM is a clear winner in terms of like, they are using everything on their own. So there is no insider or intruder who can come inside and destroy something.
Okay, that's great.
That is a good point. That is the same thing what Angular does as well. You can't use third-party things because it's all Angular related.
Right.
So this is one thing. Secondly, that is actually a problem for Angular because let's say in React, I don't have any. So funny part is Angular has everything that is needed. For example, if you want to do routing, there is a way to do it. If you want HTTP requests, there is a way to do it. Everything is built into Angular. React, it doesn't have any built-in routing way, so I need to go for a third party. React doesn't have a good state management, so I need to go to Redux or I need to use MobX or something like that. React doesn't have a HTTP calls library. That is what we are going to do today. Something called as Axios we are going to look at. Okay, so this way, I have got a choice. I can either use Axios or like yesterday Shivam said, I can use KY or Superfetch or something like that. This is as per your needs. Say, for example, you are very much, so a lot of people who are migrating to React are from Angular, either they could be Angular background or they could be from jQuery background. I'm like a jQuery person. jQuery was there for about like 5 years, then React came in.
Okay.
Then I'm like completely well versed with jQuery. Whatever I can do, I will be able to do jQuery. I'll think in jQuery. Okay, if you give me React, is there any jQuery components that I can use? jQuery is like Mentos and Coca-Cola. jQuery and React.
Oh my God, it's a very bad combination.
Yes, jQuery is a DOM manipulation engine. React is a virtual DOM engine. So that's the main reason.
Okay, get it.
So thinking about all those things, I can use, for example, if we are using this AJAX calls, instead of Axios, I can use the jQuery AJAX component alone. See, all I need to do is to make a network request and get back the data. That's it. Yeah. I can use anything for it. All I need to do is I should not touch the DOM. I'm not doing it.
I'm thinking that someone from the comment box might ask that what is a virtual DOM? So what would you say?
I've already explained it in the third video or fourth video. So to give a small idea, when you do any kind of DOM manipulations in React, it is going to be a very costly task. So for example, anything that you want to change this hello into something from the H1 value to something else, it will be a costly task. So what React does, and what is the power of React is, it creates a virtual DOM where whatever changes you do, it just checks the difference and then it just does the difference. So simple question I'm going to ask you. There you have a nice house at house in India, and okay, let's say there is a house in India, and then it has like glass windows and stuff. There are kids who are playing cricket balls and something like that. One of the kid hits hard and breaks the window pane. So what would you do as a owner? You will you be demolishing the whole house and then recreating the whole house, or you will be just changing the window?
Changing the window.
That's what React does versus what JavaScript or HTML does for you. So React just changes that part, so it is faster. Whereas JavaScript or just jQuery completely repaints the whole thing. So repainting is recreating the whole HTML structure.
That is why it is costly.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So think about pages like Facebook and other things. They have so many data.
Yeah, right. I get it. Now I'm somehow, able to get a hold on what you're trying to say, and maybe sometime later also I'll try to, have a hands on React as well. So who knows?
You want to come into another live stream as well like this?
Why not? I'm pretty much sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Perfect. We have one person brainwashed into React.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I'll share my screen again. So here is my screen. So we have got Code Sandbox here, and we have got all these things. Shall we go into the main demo?
Yeah, sure. We are all waiting for it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mock API kind of a thing. So what I'm going to create is an API folder in my public folder. And then inside the public folder, I'm going to add, let's say, data or maybe users.json. Okay. So this is the users JSON file where I'm going to add your name and my name. Okay. So it is going to be an array of objects. And let's say I start with name. It's Praveen. Okay. Let's start with, full name is Praveen Kumar. And what else details? Okay. I'll just put location alone to be good. So United Kingdom or maybe London, United Kingdom. Okay. Then we have you. Oh, wow. It also shows me everything. So it's not going to be Praveen. Location.
Location is Uttar Pradesh.
Cool. Yep. So now we have got a simple users JSON. Okay. It is in the API folder. So how do I access the content here? So if there are say this is going to be using AJAX calls.
Okay.
What are AJAX calls? It's asynchronous JavaScript and XML. You're trying to get an external data through network requests. That's what we are doing.
Okay, fine.
So HTML and CSS. Okay. If you see this in a quick way, this is your backend server.
Wow,
and this is your
nice.
I'm just drawing it in front of you. So here we have a client which uses Chrome browser, and here is the business logic, which is the web server. Okay. So now this client is going to run on your Chrome browser. So I'm just going to put your Chrome browser in case for people who are using Internet Explorer. I'm sorry.
Okay, mic drop. Okay, next.
And this could be either written in Python. Okay, I'm just gonna write the most dangerous snake in the whole world.
I mean, you do have good drawing skills.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Or it could even be Node.js. So for Node, oh my God, being a Node.js developer, I totally forgot how Node.js looks like. Right. Okay. I'll just put JS and then put a dabba on top of it. This is how most of the people, they use Node.js.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it should be something like, wow, I totally forgot how Node.js looks like.
Oh my God.
Okay. Node.js logo. I mean, sometimes it happens, right?
Oh yeah, this one.
This one. Okay. Yeah. I know that it looks like this, but I totally got.
It happens most of the time. We don't
Yeah.
focus on the logo. We focus on the code. That's why.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we need to focus. Cool. So what happens is this client can be anything. Could be say React. Okay. Good that I don't forget React. Oh my God. Okay. That's
Now
React.
you're terrible at drawing.
Thank you. And let's say this could be either Node.js.
Okay. Let's try.
Okay. Or it could be Python. It could be JavaScript. Anything it could be. Okay.
Yeah.
Or even PHP. Okay. Now, the way this guy and this guy talks is through APIs. And those APIs are the languages. Like, for example, in simple words, I'm a Telugu guy and you are you have a different language that you talk in your home. So the link language is English. So it is the same thing. So this is your language and this is my language. And so the only language that we both know in common is
English.
JSON. I mean, English. Yeah. So JSON is the way, like in the earlier times, there was no JSON. There was only XML. Then XML was like me. Okay. So fatty and like very stout, too much big. So they kind of like rejected it. Then they wanted a slimmer version. So that is JSON. Okay. And the good part about JSON is JavaScript object notation. Okay. And it is something related to JavaScript. What is there people use in client side? It is also JS.
Okay.
So this has been very easy for browsers to adapt, use it, consume, and do something out of it. So that's what exactly we are going to do. We are going to fetch a JSON content from a remote server. For now, we are going to use the remote server as our server. So this is also the JSON part. So if you open this website and type in API / let's consider this an API / data or user, right? Users.json. You are able to get all these things. Okay, cool. So this is what we are getting. Now, coming back to our place, how are we going to create a call to this one? So we will open this one here. And I'm also going to open the console here. So JavaScript console is one of the best things that, what do you call this? Chrome provides. And what we will be doing is we will be able to see what is happening inside JavaScript, inside the code and stuff like that. So whenever I start my program, if I type in like console.log, type in Ayonika is here. So it gets, this doesn't have the auto refresh functionality. Boom, we have got something here. So this is a way of like showing data, something coming in. Okay. So basically, if you want to create a request towards external data, you will be using something called as XHR. So XHR is XML HTTP request. So there is this website called I don't need jQuery. For people who are using jQuery, you might not need jQuery. The reason is like this. So I'll go to IE8. And then if you see, the first thing is getting a JSON. Okay. So there is this thing called as XML HTTP request. And we will be sending out a XML HTTP request and getting some data out of it. Okay. So this is what we are going to do. Now, if I want to use something modern, you can see that again, they are using XML HTTP request, which is worst. Okay, let's kick this site out. There is something called as fetch. Anyway, React will be running only in the latest browsers. So we will use the fetch API. Obviously, any browser that runs React will be able to run the fetch API. So all we need to do is this is a promise-based thing. Okay, so what is a promise?
What is a promise? Something that you don't break?
Kind of, yeah. So if I say, Ayonika, I need 10 rupees from you, I'll definitely give you very soon, but I don't know when I will give, but I will definitely give you. You will definitely give me 10 rupees, right?
Yeah.
It may be tomorrow, it may be a month later, I'll definitely give you. So this is the latency that it takes to request the data from the server. The server might be busy, the server might not be available, the server might be dead. because your
So
internal
it will
connection
do
is
the
not.
task. It will for sure do the task, but when we are not sure about it.
Exactly. So that's exactly what Promises does, and Fetch API is something related to that. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a Fetch API here. Okay, Fetch API to where the same server, which this particular thing is there. So I'm doing a Fetch API to slash API slash data dot users.json. Now we don't know when this gets resolved. So once it happens, then it will be giving me a response. Okay, let's see what is there in the response. Okay, so if I save this, I can see in the console it is a basic response, and the URL is this one. The body is like a readable stream. So we need to get the data from this one. So instead of sending out the response directly, I'm sending the response.json. So I'm converting the response into JSON. Again, this is going to be a promise, because this particular thing is going to get into the computer's head. So that this takes some time to convert it into JSON. We don't know when the computer will be responding to us. Now we get the JSON value. So if I try to do a console.log and type in the JSON part, okay, let's recompile everything. Refresh this page. Boom, we got an object which is two things. We have got name Praveen Kumar, and we have got this one. Okay, so now we have got the data here. Now what next? So far we were using class components. So let's go to class components as well. So I'm going to do something like class app extends component. This is going to screw up the whole thing totally. So wait, and I'm going to do export.
Why is it going to screw up things?
Because you can't have the same names. Now it should be fine. Okay. Now each class component should have a render function, and inside the render function, I need to return this part. So I'll just cut this one. I'll add it here. So hopefully this should work.
So render, what does render function do? So same as what we know rendering is all about?
In React, we have to render the content of the component. So render function does the content rendering part.
Okay.
For a class component. So I'll show you about the lifecycle of React components so that you will understand it better. Now we need to do this fetch API just once before the component loads, or after the component is loaded and ready to do something. So there is a way to do it. If you want to add some data inside the class component for a class, for a component, the internal data that it uses is called as states. Okay. So we need to create a state. Let's have data in it or users in it. So that's going to be an empty array at the initial part, right? So now let's try to look into how this data is there. So before that, I want to use Bootstrap. So let me use bootstrapcdn.com and then get the data from this. Okay, we got the Bootstrap CDN. I'll go to the index.html, create a link tag. Okay, it works. And I'll add the Bootstrap code. Then only thing that I hate about Bootstrap is it's the font of it. So I'll just go ahead and change this one into style.css. Get rid of this one. Let's use Open Sans, and let's go to app.js, save it. Okay, now we have got this one perfectly done.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to create a pre-tag, but before that, I want to create a container. Okay, so div class name is container. And inside the container, I need a row.
Okay.
And inside the row, I need a column which is 12 width.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what I want right now. Now inside this, if I put anything, like for example, say, what should I put here? Let's say I'll put a pre-tag and I'll give some class name so that it is visible here. So I want it to have a border. It should be rounded. It should have a padding of 3 pixels or 2 pixels, like 2 times padding. Let's refresh this page. Guess it's got, yeah, there it is. Let's give some margin top and bottom here. So maybe some big margin up there. Okay, can we give some light background? Boom. Now if I say something hello world or something like that, we can clearly see that it is working fine. Okay.
Right.
Now here I want to give some data to be displayed. So I always try to use json.stringify so that I can see what is there inside any of these data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I say this, okay, I have got this users which is empty right now. So once this whole application or whole component is loaded, I want to load some data into the state. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm going to do the component did mount. So it is something like document ready function. And here I want to do that fetch thing. So which we did already. I'm just going to copy this whole thing and get rid of the old code.
Praveen, can you please explain about component did mount in a little bit detail?
Okay, you asked about render, you asked about component did mount, right? Okay, I guess this is the right time to do it. So if you see the React lifecycle, and if you go to the images, so you could find this awesome lifecycle diagram here. Wow. Okay, so let me switch it to full screen. Now, if you see here, the moment this component gets mounted onto the DOM, the constructor runs. We don't have a constructor at this moment. You don't need to have everything inside, but only thing that you require really is the render function. Right? So only render function we had, then we added component did mount, then we added the state. So state is actually a part of constructor. Being a lazy person, I just put state directly inside it. Okay, that's what I did. Now in this constructor, what happens is you will be adding some initial data or some setting the state, etc. So first thing, it runs this constructor. In our case, it is going to set the data, set the state data, the empty data, like users array, that one. Then this function will get run. We don't need that. We don't have any idea about it. Then when something updates, whether you get a new prop, whether you call the set state, whether you do a force update, I'll explain these things. The update part will run. So at that point of time, this particular function gets run. I told about the React's performance and other things. It will check whether should I update this component. It checks. If it not, it stops there. In case if it does, it will go ahead and do the render part. That is what we see in the browser. Then it does the snapshot and stuff. Then it updates the DOM and references so that we can see the front of the front end. Once it all loads, it does the component did mount. It is similar to our what do you call this? We had this particular thing, right? Document ready function or something like that. So that one. So now we have got this render function. Now you understand what component did mount, what render function is, what is this constructor as well, right?
Yep.
Cool. Now, if we see this one, if you refresh this page, we can see that it actually runs once. Perfect. Last time it was running twice. Now it is running only once, right?
Right.
So this thing needs to be into this state because state is the local directory, like data repository for this component. So what we are going to do is I'm going to do this dot set state. We should use set state. Only then it gets re-rendered. And I'm going to put the data here.
Okay.
And here we will consider it as a data. Oh, sorry. It should be users. Okay, cool. On the right side.
Yeah.
You're getting the users right now. Okay.
Yes.
I need to keep on closing and opening so that Microsoft product, right? Once you restart, it will be all right. Okay. Now we have got the data in. So this is one way of getting the data from an external resource.
Okay.
This data can be
other
ways also. I'm just going to show it in a few seconds. So the first thing is we got this whole thing using fetch, the basic API. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's try to put this whole thing in a better way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is instead of using call 12, I'm going to use something like call 6 or something like that. And I'll give an offset 3. This is like you have 12 number of rows and you want 6 columns size, and then you want like from left side you want to adjust to 3 columns. So there is 3 columns on the left, 3 columns on the right. You have 6. So it is like centered.
Get it.
So if I do something like that, you can clearly see something. Oh, I need to say something inside it. Hi. You got it, right? Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the reason I used call 6 and offset 3. Now here, what I want is I want to use something like, let's say, we will go back to our Bootstrap. So get bootstrap.com. This is the official documentation. Here, we'll be able to find something like, what shall we use? List group. Cool. This one. This looks nice. We will use something nice. This one. A list group with some heading. Okay.
Okay.
So I need to have a list group as a div. Okay. So let me go back. I'll use a div, class name, list group. Cool. Here I need to do some repeating content. This is the repeating content.
Okay.
I don't want to use an A tag, which is not a good idea to use now. So I'll use another span tag or div tag. So I'll use span here. Wait, before that, am I using some crazy things? This is actually a wrong way of representing things, and a link cannot contain a paragraph. This is weird, but I don't know why even Bootstrap is recommending this way. So let's go with a div tag. Okay. So div class name. So this is a repeated content, right? If I want to bring in the what do you call this? Bring in a JavaScript inside it, I'll use this literal, and then I can do this dot state dot users. So we have this users here. Okay. And if I do a map function, I can transform this user into something. Okay. So user.
And what is that something?
That something is what you are going to see. This is that something. So we will be using, like, let's say span with these class names. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, we'll use div again because div is what we need to use here. So whenever we are looping through things, if I say hi here, there will be 2 highs because you have 1 high for me, 1 high for you. So we need to use some, we need to use a key that uniquely identifies it. So I'm going to use the key as this one, and I need to use the classes, the correct classes that we are having. So let's use action alone. Boom. We have got this. Now, this list group, let's add some top margin. Like 4 should be okay. Nice. Now, let's close it and open it again because it was showing some errors. Microsoft, why are you like this?
React is really interesting. I mean, this is much easier than what I used to do. I used to,
Wow.
Get, like, how do I do this? Like, front-end designing is kind of intimidating sometimes.
Yes, it is. But with proper practice and proper guidance, definitely you can learn.
Yeah, definitely. And this is to all my friends who are watching with us on this live.
It's easy.
Show, it's a recorded show, by the way.
Yeah. So we have this user that has name and other things. Boom. We have got our names here. Cool.
Yeah.
Now we need our locations. So that's going to be a paragraph. So let's use a paragraph with a class name as, I don't want a bottom margin, MB0. Or maybe I'll just completely zero out this thing. So I'll use user.location, right? Boom. So that's exactly what I wanted to show you all. So this is so easy to bring in. There are multiple ways you can bring in things, and this is one way of getting the data using fetch. Okay. So that's the first way. We are going to do another way as well. So if you open this one, you will be able to see this one too in a better way. I'll also put this link in the description and link in the live stream as well. So make use of it. And apart from this, we have one more thing. Instead of fetch, what else I can use? I don't want to use this so much crazy way of doing things. So if I kind of like comment this thing out, Commenting is also easy. It will not break anything. So we wrote 3 lines of code, right? If I go back to my stuff and try to add a dependency called Axios, and let's see what exactly it does. So all I need to do is I need to import Axios. Okay. So Axios, auto import Axios. Cool. This is a get request, right? So Axios dot get, and I just use this one. The same thing I need to use. Okay. But only once, the then part, but in a different way. So users is going to be, this is the response, and I need to get the response dot data. Boom, that's done, which is easier. The problem with fetches, you won't be able to see if it is failing or not. I can even do a small catch thing, try catch stuff, error. I can do console.error of err.message. Boom, that works in case of this fails. So this is super cool, right? In a simple way. I guess, Ayonika, we are not able to hear you. You are on mute.
Oh my God. Yeah, sorry. I'm saying.
You have been mute for all these minutes, like for the past 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh my God. Sorry. So I'm saying that, can you show an example where the thing is really getting failed so that we can see, that we can receive the message that, okay.
Definitely. So if I say like users.jsn or something like that, definitely this is going to get failed, and I cannot use a catch here. So I cannot use what is there, what is happening. So if I do here, look at the console, let's clear everything. And if I do JSN, users.map is not a function. Okay. So that is the error that I'm getting, as the above error came in the app component, and you are not in a position to set the thing and stuff like that. So that's, and I can also do a small thing like saying like if rest.status is actually 200,
okay,
then do the rest.data, else just clear it out.
Okay, let's try this.
Okay, that's what I did. It says the state.users.map is not a function, which is interesting. That should not actually happen. So let's see what exactly happened here.
So what is the error that should show actually?
The error is here. It is already showing here. This.state.users.map is not a function. No. The above error occurred in this place. It's like, yeah, we need to use an error thing. So this is not actually coming up from here. So what exactly is this thing right now? So let's see console.log this.state.users and see what exactly is happening here. So console.log is being cleared. Okay, that's fine. So this is actually an empty array.
Okay.
Oh. Look at this. It says this is the whole thing.
Wow.
Okay, it is somehow it is actually setting this one. Oh, I understand now. See, even if we do like a wrong thing, it is actually this is actually a good request, I guess. So let's do https example.com or something like that. This will definitely throw an error. Let's see. Boom. It says network error. So this is where it actually, our console log comes in, and it says network error, more details here.
So is it possible that when we get a failure, we get a message?
We can do something. What we can do is we can give an error, and it says false. Okay. When you get the error, what you can do is you can do like we can do like this.set state. Then in the data, we can, in users, we can do something like this, and error, we can set ERR. Okay, so let's see what exactly happens here. So catch error. Okay, I haven't put everything in the right way. So that's what I need to do. Okay, cool. Look at this. It's a network error. The name is error. The stack is here. The config URL, everything is here. Okay.
Right.
So worst case worst, you're all able to get what is happening here. Based on this, you can show the people that there is an error. So if error is there, what we need to do is we need to find the error.message and we need to report it back. So what we can do here is, so we have got this part, right? So I can do a small condition saying this.state.error, then do something else, do something. Okay, here I can do something like I want a div class alert.
Okay.
Alert danger because it's an error.
Yeah.
And I can put here this dot state dot error dot message. Oh. Okay, cool. Now let's see how it comes. If I refresh this page, boom, network error.
That's great actually.
And then if I change this to back to our API/user, okay, it actually works here as well. If I change this back to our thing, oh, sorry, JSON, we can see that these two things are there.
This is really nice.
This is not working anyway because it's we need to do something like this is with respect to code sandbox. It is giving you all 200 requests, so that we need to like do more check. But that is how we need to do. We need to do a lot more check here.
Okay.
Boom. No error, error false. So we can also set this one as well. Users is res.data and ERR ORS false. In case the previous error was there, it will be like showing something, right? So even that is possible, which we have done.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So here's our app.js, the complete app.js. So in this link, I have also posted this link to you all, so you can use this one.
Yeah. Thanks. So I believe that the friends on the other side can hopefully understand that what is Axios and what is its advantage over fetch. So
yes.
Yeah, now we know.
And in simple terms, it makes you lazy, as simple as that.
That's what we all want.
Right. So that was cool. Thanks for everyone for coming here. And right. So how was it? What did you think?
I believe that I'm a complete newbie to React. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is my first session with you, right? And
Yeah.
I could understand a lot of things. Maybe because I come from a coding background, or maybe someone who is not from a coding background also can understand because things are very intuitive
Exactly.
in here. So yeah, this is really nice. And I got to know how to fetch things from this backend to a front end. So yeah, that was really nice. It was a nice session.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Great. So we can expect Ayonika in upcoming sessions as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
yeah. So anything else you would like to ask before we say bye? Because it's almost like 1 hour. So thanks a lot. You have been like one of the brilliant sessions we had. God, thanks to you because of your awesome questions. And
actually, thank you, Praveen, because you are, you're working and then you are investing time on us. You're helping us to learn. So that is one of the things that we're looking forward from community like yours. So you
community
give it
first.
Yeah, you give it for free. And that's what we as students want, that someone teach us.
Obviously, this is my main thing. My main aims in my life is like number one is like free, high quality tech education for everyone. And secondly, more women in tech. So that's why you are here. And there are multiple people here who are mostly girls and young women who are getting into tech. So I want to give the right direction. And so about
I want to say the guys on the other side of the screen that please just do not watch this video. Just practice it, because once you start practicing it, you will start to fall in love with coding. And once you do that, your brain will become sharper, and then you can do many things in life. Just to say that's what I've been feeling.
Definitely. That works. And at the same time, not just practicing, always practicing makes you a great, perfect way. And another thing is, if you are looking at things like this, please go ahead and share it in your LinkedIn as well. So I did my first time. This is the first time I did a Hello World application in HTML. It's all right. 10 people will shout at you.
Tag him, because then he will be able to, see if you've done it right or wrong.
If I have done, if I have made any impact to others, that would also matter a lot.
Please tag Praveen.
Not only that, also, this will get you confidence more. Like you will be getting more confidence, and a lot of people will also say, okay, you have done this way. This is a better way to do things like that. Even today, I learned a lot. Like yesterday was my complete learning session for me.
Yeah.
Shivam came. It was a bomb for me. Like he just like blazed out, like completely crazy. Like that was the best thing happened. And I thought I would be hosting him, but he hosted me. He talked a lot for us and everyone who was watching it yesterday. And today we have Ayonika. Thanks to her brilliant questions, and I was able to answer. I was able to think a lot of things, and cool.
So
that was the best.
From the perspective of students who want to learn, because all these questions pop up and there is no one who can answer us, right?
Exactly.
So people like you can do that. So that's why I just asked.
One more thing is, if you ask, you'll be getting the answers.
Obviously, if you don't ask, then you would not get the answers. But then you need to know whom to ask to.
That's true. Cool. So thanks a lot, Ayonika, for your time, and it's been really great you being here and in the midst of your work. So
I need to head back to a meeting right now. So
all right.
Yeah.
So
bye
folks.
everyone.
Bye everyone.